When you tense up and freeze, forget what it is that you were going to say, or you don't have the words in English to express what you want to say, this lesson will help you get unstuck. I'm sharing strategies for times when you feel stuck during your English conversation. These strategies will be helpful in business settings as well as in casual settings. Ultimately, what we're doing here is buying you some thinking time so that you can create a response that you're comfortable with and you feel reflects well on you, which is important in particularly professional settings. The techniques I'm sharing with you in this lesson will improve your strategic competence, which is an important component of communicative competence. If you're ready, let's get started. Strategy 1, hedging strategies. We have a great expression in English that you might already know. Don't beat around the bush, meaning don't hedge, just get to the point. But when you need to buy yourself some thinking time, you should beat around the bush. If someone asks you a question that you weren't able to answer or you weren't expecting, you can say the following. Great question. Let me think about that. That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. Let me find out. Just give me a second to process this. Wonderful. Strategy 2, ask them a question back. So if someone says something or asks you something that you don't understand and thus you're not sure what to say next or how to answer, what do? Well, you can ask them a question back. So let's say someone wants your opinion about something that you're learning about just for the first time and that you don't know how to respond to. You could say, what are your thoughts on the matter? What are your thoughts on the matter? Or let's say someone asked you a question, but you need to think about it some more, or you're nervous that you're going to say the wrong thing. Instead, you can say, what's your take on it? What's your take on it? This will get the ball in their court and they'll flesh out their own response. And once you get people talking, they usually keep going. It's hard to get them to stop. Better yet, you get someone to talk about something that they're super interested in and passionate about, they'll never quiet down. So that's a little secret to communication right there. Okay, and that brings me to the next strategy. Strategy 3, strategically switch topics. The idea behind this is to switch to a topic that you know they're interested in. For example, if you know they're a basketball fan, you can ask them what the final score was in last night's game. If you know they love talking about their hobby, ask them a question about it or find a more subtle way to get them to talk about it by tying it to something you're already talking about. For example, if you're talking about arts and crafts in general, then you can get them to talk about their hobby, which is knitting, let's say. So you find a way to tie it in to whatever you're already talking about. And of course, when you get unstuck and you feel like you've got something to say and contribute to the conversation, you can chime in anytime and add to the conversation. The next strategy 4, ask for clarification. There is no shame in asking someone to clarify something. If it wasn't clearly communicated, that's not your fault. The onus is on the communicator to effectively convey their message. And if there's a communication breakdown, meaning the message didn't get successfully transmitted, then they need to clarify or explain further. So some ways to do this, you can say, what are you referring to? Or to what are you referring? I didn't catch your meaning. Could you expand on that? What do you mean by XYZ? I'm not clear on ABC. Mind explaining that a bit? All right, strategy 5, acknowledge a miscommunication. So to do this, you can say the following. There seems to be a miscommunication here. Let's see where we went wrong. When you said XYZ, I understood this. Was this your intended meaning? You can also say this. Well, it's clear now that there's been a misunderstanding. I think we can get to the bottom of this together. Great. So this way you can retrace your steps, so to speak, and figure out where there was a communication breakdown and where you might have gone wrong. So these are 5 terrific strategies that you can use to buy yourself some thinking time, clarify a message, or clear up any miscommunications or misunderstandings. Depending on the type of communication, business or casual, and what the situation is, you can implement these different strategies. In any scenario, you'll find that these techniques will help you get unstuck in English. Having the strategic competence will enhance your overall ability to communicate in English, which is what we refer to when we talk about a language learner's communicative competence. So be sure to implement these strategies and practice getting unstuck in English. All right, advanced English learners, thank you so much for tuning into this lesson. The full transcript of this lesson can be found on our blog at advancedenglish.co/blog. So be sure to check that out, as well as our other materials on there, including our podcast. So if you prefer to listen to this lesson, then you can find that on our website as well. All right, I'll see you in the next one where we're going to continue advancing your English together. Until then, keep up the awesome work, and I will see you soon.